Today I'm going to show you how to get started in Onshape once you make an account and are logged in. So once you log in, you could see this page here. Right now I haven't put any new designs in, and yours might look the same, right? So it's kind of empty, it's bare, if you haven't used it before. Or if you have used it before, like you could see here, I kind of opened a doc over here. There's just no preview. So this whole thing might be blank if you haven't used it, or if you have, it might be filled with some things. So if we look over here on the left-hand side, you'll just see I just clicked recently opened. So if you're coming back on here to work on a project that you're working on, you can click on that button to go quickly to the doc or the file that you were working on and want to continue on. Also down here, you can see there is a share with me button. So it's kind of like Google Doc where you could share it with other people and they can comment and edit your doc. It's the same thing kind of where you could share your project with someone else or your file or me, right? And I can look at it and make changes to it if necessary. So that is kind of cool. Then we have the public section where you can look at other designs that other people have made, right? And you could browse, just look at them. It's kind of cool to see what others have made. So you can see there's like glasses, there's gear, all violin, like all cool stuff that is public for you to look at. All right, so now if you, right, we don't have anything in here, we want to make a new file, right? So we're going to click on this blue create button. You're going to click on document, and now we're going to come up with a name for our file or our doc. So I'm just going to put sample for now. This loads right here, it'll bring you to the design workspace. All right, so this is called Part Studio 1, which is right here. All right, so there's a couple of things that you need to know before you get started in creating your design in Onshape. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see this is called features. Right, so in this section, this is where all of the things or all the parts or features that you make of your model, they'll be placed over here. All right, and it'll tell you how many parts or how many features you have also down here. Also, once you have your features made or your parts made, you can always go back and edit them as needed, and you would do so by clicking on your feature once it's popped up over here. Also on the top here, you'll see there are tons of 3D design tools. So right now we're in the modeling section, which is the 3D design, right? So there are tons of 3D tools that you can click on in order to create whatever you want to create. So there's tons to choose from. Also over here on the right hand side, we have a little cube. Now this cube is the view cube. So on this cube, there are many different views that you could choose from. So I'll just click this one. So this is your front view, and it kind of snaps to the front of whatever you're making. Then you can click on the back, or you can click on even a corner of your design to see kind of like the bottom of it. Right, so there's a top, side, front, bottom, right, all the different sides of your project are going to be shown here. And it'll literally snap to whichever side that you want to work on, which is great. Then underneath this cube, there's kind of like a little smaller cube, right? So this smaller cube, instead of having these default views, you can kind of change the views whether it be isometric or trimetric, you can change that over here. Then under here, there's also, right now, your model is not shaded, but you could make it shaded. So like right now, you could shade it without edges, you could have it shaded. You could remove your edges or make your edges visible that were hidden. So you can make your model more realistic. So also this button right here, translucent, That'll make your model or your object clear. So if you're making something out of glass, that also might be useful for you, just to make it a little bit more realistic. Then, last but not least, on the bottom, right here, like I said before, we're in Part Studio. So this is Part Studio 1, because could be one part of a huge project or a huge model. So you could always add, where it says the plus sign, insert new element, you could always add more parts to your bigger model, and then later go to assembly, which is right here, and assemble them together to create your big model or your big object or invention or innovation that you have. Then you would assemble all of your parts that you make together. You can make it move and simulate it to see if it actually works, which is really, really cool. And these are the tools that you could use to do that right on the top.